Hello, welcome back. Fred in the Shed, of course, and a radio video. And just want to have a little chat about one of the questions that keeps coming up, and that is about Charlie Tango call signs. People are a little bit confused, perhaps, coming back onto radio. I mean, I was as well, nearly 3 years ago now, when I started back on radio. People sort of comment on my videos and say, look, Fred, you know, you're all using these weird kind of Charlie Tango call signs. If I want to come back on radio, do I need to get one? Do I need to use one? Do I have to pay for it? And if I do want one, where do I get one from? So I just thought I'd do this video to sort of answer those three questions. Briefly, the first question, do I have to have a Charlie Tango call sign? No, absolutely not. Just if you want to come back on radio, you know, if you just want to be, for example, you want to be Dave from Dagenham, or, you know, Frank from Fulham, or anything like that, you know, you absolutely can be. You don't have to use a call sign. You don't have to use a handle. You know, yeah, I'm Fred from St Albans. So no, it is not obviously compulsory. The next question is, do I have to pay? Do I have to pay for one? No, they're completely free. If you want to get a call sign, it's completely free. And how do I go about doing it? Well, you will go on to the Charlie Tango forum and join the forum, which is free, and then ask for a call sign. And I'll show that bit at the end of the video. But going right back to the very beginning, you know, why do you use Charlie Tango call sign? It's not amateur radio. You know, we're on the 11 metre band here. This is CB radio. We do spend a lot of time on the sideband, and I did explain a lot of the reasons for that in the last video, being home base with noise and everything like that. So, you know, Charlie Tango call signs, they're very, very useful. Very useful indeed. For example, on our little group, if everyone comes on, we could have 3, possibly 4 Steves, all the same name on the group, you know. And I'll have a Steve Mobile, I'll have a Steve in North Luton, I might have a Steve in Welwyn Garden City, and I might have a Steve all the way in High Barnet or something like that. So it gets very confusing, which is why the Charlie Tango call signs are quite good, because I might have Steve 318, I might have Steve 1791, I might have Steve 1305. So you can revert to the Charlie Tango call signs. It makes it that bit more helpful. Also, if you're on sideband as well, sometimes the conditions are a bit challenging and your signal might be dropping in and out. And so, you know, it can be quite difficult maybe to get your sort of name across, you know, Fred. Oh yeah, this is like Foxtrot Romeo Echo Delta, you know, Foxtrot Romeo Echo Delta Fred in St Albans, you know, Sugar Tango. And it gets very, very confusing. Whereas if I can just say, yep, Charlie Tango 1664 1664 calling, they've got more chance to hear that, the 1664, and they might come back and say, yeah, got a copy on your 1664. This is Charlie Tango, you know, 2005. So it can help when the conditions are quite bad. And now also, if you're going to shoot some DX, when it comes in, when the summer cycle, because it is going to slowly improve over the next couple of years, but when a DX comes up, and for example, you might go up on the 555 to try and get some international stations. Now, it's just a fact that if I go on there, for example, and let's say I've got I've got Victor calling from Germany, and so he might be saying, yep, this is CQ, this is Victor, let's say it's Delta Lima 604, Germany calling. Now, to be honest, if I go back to Victor there, and I go, yeah, Delta Lima 604, you've got Fred copy, you've got Fred in St Albans, you know, on my little radio there, you've got Fred in St Albans copy, you got Fred in St Albans. To be honest, he might come back to me, but it's probably not the contact that he's looking for. Whereas if I go on and go back to him and say, yeah, Victor there, Victor calling North Germany. Yeah, this is 26, which will be my 26 division. That will say that I'm UK. 26, Charlie Tango 1664 UK return. 1664 UK return. There's more of a chance that if he hears a call sign, he will be he's sort of programmed in his mind. He'll come. There's more chance that he'll come back to me than if I just use my personal. And once you get the contact, you know, and he'll be, hello, this is Victor, you know, and I say, oh yeah, this is Fred, Foxtrot Romeo Echo Delta, St Albans UK limit, you know, and I can then kind of get the contact. You can make it a bit more sort of personal. But for getting those contacts, having a call sign really does help, honestly. If you want to go DX on the 555 or the T5, if you really having a call sign sort of really helps, and you don't have to use it all the time. You know, if you go on the sort of the Charlie Bravo there or the Charlie Brown, you go on the FM 40. You know, we seldom use them on there. I'm Fred. Oh, hello, Fred. I'm John. And then also you've got your old sort of CB kind of handles as well. You know, it might be Fred in the Shed, Stan in the Van, Fat Man, Pucker Dave, Johnny Jaffa. You know, you got all those, haven't you? So you've got your usual kind of CB sort of old handles if you want to use them, and quite often they're used on the Applejack, and they're all used on the 40. So if you want to, I would recommend, if you're coming back onto CB radio, I'd recommend that you get yourself a Charlie Tango call sign. Like I say, go onto the Charlie Tango website, just Google Charlie Tango forum. That will come onto the forum. Apply to join the forum, just as you would on any other sort of forum, dead easy. And then when you get there, you'll see a link, apply for a call sign, and it can take up. I mean, it can take up to a week. Obviously, this is people doing this in their spare time, but you should get back a Charlie Tango, say 2735 or something. And you don't only require basic details, your name, so Fred, your location, St Albans, Hertfordshire, UK, that's it. And that's quite handy as well, because, for example, you might be on the radio and there might be a very distant group or a distant net that you're trying to connect with. And again, on sideband or even if FM conditions are not favourable, and you might just get a brief contact. You know, you might say, yeah, on the side, break on the side, QSK, and they'll say, yeah, QRZ. And you say, yeah, QRZ, this is, Fred in the Shed, St Albans here. Could you got a copy on me? And they might say, oh, I think I've got that breaker. Yeah, you're just about making a noise. This is Charlie Tango 1100, and then gone. You've lost that contact, and and the conditions have gone. So you know that you made contact with Charlie Tango 1100. So you can then go on to the Charlie Tango forum and you can look them up, and you might find that they were, for example, they could be in Kent. Or you might find that they might be in Swindon. You think, wow, I've just made a sort of 60-mile contact, even though it was brief. So you've got that option there to look them up as well. And the same thing, they can look you up. I might go on and say, Charlie Tango 1664. Again, they might hear my call sign. They might be mobile. They might not be able to get back to me, but they can hear my call sign, and then they can go on and look up me and find out, how far they were receiving. So it's all quite helpful. Some people, it's not amateur radio. Some people are put off because it's a call sign. It's not an amateur radio call sign. It's not regulated. It's not licensed. It's just sort of another string in your bow when you're coming back onto radio. So I thought I'd just explain that, because that keeps coming up in the comments. Like I said, if you want to come onto radio, and you just want to be sort of, as I say, Mike from Middlesex or whatever, absolutely fine. People will talk to you. It's just, as I say, really, if you go on a sideband and you try and get a little bit of DX, if you're Mike from Middlesex or you're Charlie Tango 2735, you've probably got a little bit more chance with 2735 in getting a contact. All right then, just thought I'd explain that. Cheers, thanks for watching. More radio videos to come. Got quite a few in the camera that I've got to put up. So stay tuned for that. I'll put a few little kind of recommendations, little tabs that come up at the end of the video for more Fred in the Shed stuff. So if you want to go off and watch that, absolutely fine. Your views are always welcome. But as for now, I'd like to say cheers. Thanks for watching this one. Stay safe, of course, and I'll catch you all on the next one.